What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Heat Ray Vision podcast. This is Hav, and with me I got Hector.
Yo.
I got Mario.
What up?
And we're here to review the first episode of HBO Max's The Last of Us TV adaptation based off the famous video game. But before we get started, we want to remind you guys that you can listen to our podcast on Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, Apple, and Google Podcasts. And you can follow all of our socials at Heat Ray Vision Podcast.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
So this episode I think is gonna be special, man, because I'm pretty sure this game is very special to us.
Yeah.
So this adaptation is really what we're looking forward to.
Mm-hmm.
I was nervous, low key. I'm not gonna lie.
I guess before we talk about the episode, I want to ask you guys some questions.
Okay.
Like, what were your guys' first impressions? Well, I can't really say when you heard they were making something, because right when the first game came out back in 2013, when it came out on PS3, there had been talks about them wanting to make a Last of Us movie. So it's been around for a while.
I had no idea about that.
Me neither.
Yeah, like I had heard that they were making it, but it was just like in development hell. So I never
Like a movie.
Yes. At first it was a movie that was going to come out through Sony Pictures. And obviously, right, because Sony owns PlayStation. But apparently, but it was like in development hell, and it just wasn't getting off the ground and whatever. But I guess that one. Okay, so I want to ask you guys this. I read recently from IGN that apparently one of the contenders to direct a Last of Us movie was Sam Raimi.
I did not know that.
Yeah. And I guess he did an interview, I think, Sam Raimi, and he said that the movie executives at Sony were telling Sam Raimi that if he's going to make the Last of Us movie, to have it have more action and to have it be more sexy.
What?
And they said that because they said that they wanted
sexy, bro.
They said this because at the time they wanted to piggyback off the hype and off the success of the movie World War Z, which came out at the time. So I personally haven't seen that movie.
I liked it.
Oh, for real?
And it came out. It came out a while ago. I know
the movie's not like amazing,
Right,
but
right.
it's pretty good. I think I'd give it like a 6 or a 7.
Okay, but you know how long ago that movie came out, right?
Yeah.
So that gives you
a long
kind of
time
like
ago.
that kind of gives you a timestamp as to when this meeting happened and shit like that. And Sam Raimi was like, "What? Like, what do you mean, right?" And but the thing is that Sam Raimi never played the games or nothing like that, so he just figured whatever. I guess I'll just do what they said. But again, it's just been in development hell, and
Thank
it just
God
never
they
got
didn't
off the
do it,
ground.
man.
What did you guys think? What do you guys think about that? I should say, like when they said, "Oh, make it more action, have it more action,
No.
and make it more sexy."
What does that even mean?
I feel like what they meant
What do you mean
was
sexy?
I feel like what they meant is they're gonna take Ellie and
Make her older?
and make her like 19 or 20,
right.
not 14.
And instead of a dad and daughter relationship, more like a
it's gonna be a relationship.
type shit. Interesting.
Fuck.
I mean, that would have flopped.
No, yeah.
Especially because if
definitely.
it's an adaptation.
Yeah.
If it was its own thing, sure.
Yeah.
I guess.
You could do your own thing.
But it's an adaptation with source material.
man. No, yeah.
It would have followed nothing.
It's because man. I'm glad that did not fucking happen, bro.
Yeah.
Because I'm glad that Last of Us got such a good adaptation. Because video game adaptations, bro, they have a track record of not being great.
And it's because of things like this. It's because movie executives are like, well,
they just don't give a fuck.
we saw that this movie did really well because it did these things. So let's make this video game adaptation movie do the things that movie did.
Yeah, like
And
we could do the same thing, but add the already popular title franchise
and
to
characters.
it. Yeah, and then boom, we'll make even more money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, man.
And that's why a lot of times video game movies or adaptations flop.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Yeah,
and I remember
don't think it's a good
screenshotting
idea.
that article from IGN as I sent it to you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but I sent it to you, and I was like, "This is why video game movies always fail because of shit like this."
Yes.
Because movie executives are it's like they're always in a business mindset. They're always like, "Well, what's gonna make us more money?" And it's like, "Well, what if we like adapt a movie from a video game and but we give it like elements that we know have worked in the past in other movies, but like if it doesn't fit with it." Like it did it in game, if it doesn't fit with that story and shit, like it's gonna fail.
Yeah.
And that's something that I feel like movie executives don't understand. To this day, I feel like they don't understand shit like that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think That's true, but I think because of what we just saw and like the success of this first episode, I think it's gonna start changing people's minds. They're gonna be like, "Holy shit! Look at these ratings. Look at the numbers."
I feel like movie executives should take a step back and learn from things like The Last of Us show,
or honestly, have like what they did here,
or Arcane,
have
or something like that.
Neil Druckmann. He was co-director and co-writer,
right?
So they should do that too.
Well,
they could have a co-director and co-writer of the person who wrote the successful game.
Well, here's the thing, though. It doesn't always work. Because Neil Druckmann was also co-writer for the Uncharted movie.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
I did not know that.
And that movie, you still haven't seen it, right?
No.
I saw it. And as a diehard Uncharted fan, like, I've been there since day 2.
No.
Not day 1, right? But day 2. But I'm still hardcore. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. That movie was just not Uncharted for me. It had Uncharted-ish things in it, but just didn't feel like Uncharted.
Yeah, that's true.
Honestly, bro, now that I think about
You've seen it?
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking
I saw
about?
it. Yeah.
Honestly,
fuck
like,
that, bro.
now I think about it.
And I was there day 1 of.
Day 1 of Uncharted?
You were day 1. Okay.
I was day 2. I started playing Uncharted when it was the second game, which is weird, but it's because,
it's always like that, to be honest.
For real. My introduction to Halo was Halo 2 as a kid.
Yeah, right.
The fuck? We were saying?
Now you look back on it, right? Let's take a step back a bit. Do you think Uncharted would have been better if they made it to a show?
Yes, absolutely.
I think that's what they should have done.
I think a lot of video game adaptations would work better as a show.
Yeah.
Because rather than cramming a story into a 2-hour movie, you're essentially telling a story in a 10 to 12-hour movie. Because every episode can be an hour, like what The Last of Us was.
Yeah.
Although I heard rumors that this first episode of The Last of Us is an hour and a half because they combined episodes 1 and 2 together and called it episode 1. And there was originally supposed to be 10 episodes instead of 9. That's just what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not, but supposedly that's what I've heard.
Interesting.
But no, I feel like any video game adaptation would succeed if it was made into a TV show, i.e. The Last of Us. We're only 1 episode in, but it's good so far. And I know Mario would agree. Arcane.
Yeah.
That one also, same thing, right? So, personally, I think... like,
and then Sonic was good.
That's right.
That adaptation
but that was a movie. And it wasn't a show. But sometimes it can work. But... the thing about Sonic, though, is that there's not really a story in the Sonic games. Not really. Not like that. Not like Last of Us or Uncharted.
Oh, no.
But when you do adapt a video game that has a deep, rich story, like Last of Us, like Uncharted, like Resident Evil, it would work much better as a TV show because you have more time, more hours to flesh out the story like you were playing a video game. Because imagine them trying to adapt... the story of Halo 2 in 2 hours.
Yeah, nah.
You see that? How? You would have to You'd have to cut out so much. You know what I mean?
Even the current Halo show is trash.
Well, that's because they don't have the right people behind it.
And then that Resident Evil show that was on Netflix.
God,
they canceled it because of how bad it was.
I never saw it, but I saw clips on TikTok, and I'm like, "There's no."
At
one point, when there's that one bitch who started singing Dua Lipa.
I haven't seen that.
That Dua Lipa song.
I haven't seen that clip.
Not Jack Harlow's Dua Lipa, but like a song that the singer Dua Lipa has. There's a clip where the girl starts singing out of nowhere. It's like an older lady. And there's one girl.
Oh, I think I might have seen
that. And there's one girl looking at her like, what the fuck?
It was just kind of cringe.
Yeah, for real. Like, what the fuck were they thinking?
Yeah, but honestly, no, not looking back, man. I think Uncharted would have been better as a show.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
They should have done that.
And low key, it's going to sound fucked. What? But the 15-minute fan film that we got of Uncharted years ago with Nathan Fillion was a better Uncharted movie than what I saw with Tom Holland.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. 15
you agree with
minutes.
That, Mario?
Yeah,
dude. Because you watch that 15-minute fan film and you're like, dude, the director and the writer was someone, he has said in interviews, like, oh, I grew up with the Uncharted games. I love the Uncharted games, blah, blah, blah. And the internet always fan casted Nathan Fillion to play Nathan Drake in the movie. So I figured I'm going to go out of my way and make my own short film. And you could just tell that this dude was a fan of the games because down to the details, down to like the way that Nathan Drake acts.
After this podcast, we're going to watch it. I haven't seen it in a long time. You showed it to me like years ago.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
You'll like it. You'll like it. But like down to like the way that people talk, down to like the banter. There was even at one point where Nathan Drake starts fighting the goons, and I shit you not, his fighting is just like in the game. It's like you're mashing square and he's hitting the way he does in the game. It's so fucking funny. It's cool. Like just details like that. That's why I feel like Halo failed, or why Uncharted failed, because they didn't have people behind the scenes who cared about this, about the source material, and cared about the thing. And it's like, well, are the people behind the Last of Us, did they care? It's like, well, maybe they did, but on top of that, they had Neil Druckmann there to also help guide them and be like, we want the story to be like the game. This is how I wrote it. This is how we adapted it. Right, and then they can what's it called? Brainstorm together and create something good. You know what I mean? But when you have the wrong people behind who just don't care about the source material,
and like also has to do with their ego too. Like, no, I'm gonna do it. Like a director, like, no, I'm gonna do it my way. Or a screenwriter, no, I'm gonna do it my way.
No,
if you're gonna do it your way, bitch, make your own show. Why are you attaching this already established franchise? Like, you want to do Master Chief how you just did it? Fuck a weird alien bitch naked and show his face, whatever. Make your own show, bro. I don't give a fuck. Name it the Spartan or some shit. Not Halo. And don't call him Master Chief. Call him that meme, Mr. Chief. Mr. Chief. You know what I mean? Like, like what the fuck? Like. So yeah, man, that shit pisses me off. So I'm glad that this episode was not like that.
Yeah. Now let me ask you guys another question. Have you guys seen the show? It's a limited series on HBO Max. Have you guys seen Chernobyl?
I haven't seen that.
I heard
it's good.
Yeah, I saw I think the first episode, and I remember loving it. I was like, oh my god, this is good.
So
but I didn't continue because I had that free trial.
Oh
damn! Goddamn! No, right.
How long is that?
It's like 6 episodes, but they're each like an hour, all over an hour.
How many seasons?
It's just one. It's a limited series, so it's just one thing.
Oh wow!
It's just one. So when it's a limited series, that means there's no seasons. It's just that one few episodes, and that's it. It's wraps. But I had heard that this show came out, and I heard it was fantastic. It won a bunch of Emmys. Emmys, right?
I have no idea.
Emmys is television shows.
Yeah.
I was confusing it with Grammys. So it won a bunch of Emmys, a bunch of Golden Globes. It kept winning a bunch of awards for being a good show. And I was like, that show's pretty good. I might check it out. And then I heard the production company that worked on HBO's Chernobyl will be working on The Last of Us.
Yeah.
I said, now I gotta check it out.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I did. I sat down and I binged Chernobyl. It took me 2 days to watch all the episodes, and I was like, holy shit, this fucking show's badass. And the people that worked on this show are making The Last of Us.
So it's fire.
So now my hopes were high. Now the question I was gonna ask was if you guys had watched Chernobyl, did you guys have high expectations? You know what I mean? I know I did because I saw the show and I saw that they won awards and a bunch of other stuff. That I was like, oh, dude, if these guys are gonna handle The Last of Us, it should be good. But you know what? Let's tread carefully.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen the show. I will check it out.
Yeah.
Mario, you said you saw the first episode?
I saw the first episode, yeah.
And what is it about?
It's about the Chernobyl disaster.
Yeah, Chernobyl. Yeah.
When that happened back in 19.
Oh, like that bombing shit?
It wasn't a bomb, bro.
It was radiation.
It was the radiation shit that spilled into the city.
Oh,
and, people went in there to try to clean it up, and then they came out with radioactive poisoning and all this shit. You know what I mean?
And the whole town's abandoned.
Yeah, they're all trying.
You know that mission in COD?
Which one? He just said, you know the mission in COD. There's 10 CODs.
The ghillie suit one for Modern Warfare.
Which Modern Warfare?
The original.
The OG Modern Warfare.
Or first Modern Warfare.
Okay.
I remember you're in a ghillie suit and you go through this town. It's abandoned.
Oh, and it's raggedy, like ghost town type of shit. Oh, okay, like that.
There you go, yeah.
Oh.
That's that town.
Yeah, bro, so that's basically what the show's about.
I need to finish it for real.
It's good, bro. I recommend you.
Now that I have HBO Max again, I'm like, I need to finish the show. I want to watch the first episode.
Yeah, it's good, bro. It's good.
Oh,
watch.
okay.
But now let me ask you guys this. Now we get the casting news. Right. Pedro Pascal as Joel, Bella Ramsey as Ellie. What were your guys' thoughts on that? Because that's arguably one of the biggest things that people were looking forward to is who's going to play these characters. Yeah.
Well, the thing is with the whole casting shit. At first, I was iffy. I'm because it's tricky, man. Because whenever something is in a video game first,
right,
you're so used to that character, right? Especially if it's for years, you know how this character looks like, right? And whenever you cast someone that does not look like that character or looks slightly different, some people just is a nostalgia thing. Some people just can't look past it.
Sure.
Right. And when I first saw that, I'm like, all right. I mean, I guess I don't know Pedro Pascal like that. I knew from you guys told me he played in Mandalorian. He did. What else did he do?
He was in Narcos.
Yes, I remember Narcos and stuff. And in my opinion, bro, I'm not gonna lie. To me, he didn't really remind me or look like Joel. Like that's just I'm gonna just be real. He didn't really look like Joel to me. Same with Ellie. I'm not familiar with her either.
She was
Bella
also
Ramsey.
in Game of Thrones, but I've never seen the show. So.
Oh, okay. I heard the show was good.
No, I know the show's good. I just never seen it.
Oh, okay.
But I know that I've heard that she was fantastic in that show.
Okay.
That she was in.
And so to me, I was like, it's weird, bro. It's kind of weird, like seeing people gonna play a character that you know, but they don't look like them.
Right.
So I think that was just my reaction with both of them. I was like, oh, like they don't really look like them, but hey, at the end of the day, that doesn't really matter because it really matters how they deliver and portray their character. So at the end of the day, I was like, you know what, I just gotta see. This is what I thought.
Did you guys have any fan casts in mind of like who should play these characters? I had one for Joel.
Who?
Hugh Jackman. Wolverine. And the reason why because think about it, Joel is an old, grumpy, hardened, old guy who's got like that edge to him, right? And we've seen Hugh Jackman play that role. It's called Logan.
Yeah.
Right. He's got that old man, but like brooding energy. You know what I mean? Like that dark, kind of always angry thing that with Joel.
Wait, I don't think Mario didn't answer about what he thought about the casting, and you haven't answered either, Hoff.
Oh no,
it was just me.
Oh shit.
So Mario,
what did you think of the casting?
Yeah, then you too, Hoff, after.
I mean, when I found out that Pedro was gonna be Joel in this show,
you was hyped because you were like Mandalorian.
Yeah, I wasn't hyped, but I wasn't like. I don't know. I was more like, okay, I like him as Mando. I mean, we don't really see his face a lot, obviously, but
yeah,
I like how he performs. I mean, acts in that show. With Ellie, I mean, honest with you, I didn't even know she was on Game of Thrones until I started doing more research on her recently. I was like, oh, she was in this. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't even know that. But ultimately, it does come back to what Hector said earlier: is like how do they perform in the show? That's what really matters. Yeah. Not how they look; is how they perform in the show. So that's kind of where I was at.
For me, when I heard that it was Pedro Pascal, I was like, okay, I can't say they didn't get a bad actor because he's a really good actor.
No, I'm sure. Yeah.
But unlike Mario, where it's like, oh, I only know him in Mandalorian. I've known him in a few things. He's been in Narcos. He's been in Mandalorian. He was in Kingsman 2. He was in Wonder Woman 1984. He was,
huh?
Yeah, he was that dude who like becomes the wishing rock.
Yeah.
He was.
I completely forgot,
trash, bro.
Yeah, that's that dude. He was. What else was he in? He was in that new Nicolas Cage movie, Unbearable Weight.
Oh, that one.
He was in that. Like, so I've seen him in a few things. So, and I've always liked him as an actor, and he was always really good. So when I heard that they got him to play Joel, I'm like, damn, not Hugh Jackman. But you know what? I can't say they didn't get a bad actor. He's really good. Let's see what he's got. Bella Ramsey, on the other hand, again, like Mario, I knew nothing about her. I've seen her in nothing. I'm like, I don't know who this is. The first thing I thought of when I saw a picture of her was, her eyes are too small. But that was it. That's the only thing that came to mind. I was just like, huh, interesting. Yeah. I was like, you know what? I'll we'll see what happens. Let's look at a trailer and see what's up.
Right.
And, and obviously they started casting other people for other roles and stuff like that, and then eventually we got that first trailer, right? And now that trailer was like, oh shit! Like
another thing, bro, is I guess that made me worry, and especially about her playing Ellie is when like remember how she came out and said like that they didn't want her to play the game and shit. They didn't want her to play the Last of Us game.
Yes,
they just wanted to go in blind. And so with that, I can understand because it's like, oh, you don't want to act too much like her, or you just want to do your own thing.
Sure.
But that still to me was worrisome because I was like, oh, like what if she doesn't portray her right? You know what I mean? Because regardless, regardless if you make that argument, oh, don't read this or don't watch this, you still obviously like actors are still gonna be able to do like their research. Like if you're gonna play a Superman role. Right, I'm sure you're gonna check out Superman projects and see what's the deal. Like, get a good idea, of Superman, and then you could add those things to your version of Superman, if that makes sense, And so with Ellie, when that came out, like, yeah, I didn't play the game because they didn't want me to. I was worried. I was like, oh shit, like, what if she doesn't do well, right? I guess that was another worry.
For me, I never understood why they said that.
Yeah,
but I was like, whatever, it is what it is. Pedro Pascal said that he didn't play the games because he was bad.
Well, yeah, it makes sense.
You know, he said
he's an actor, man. He's busy.
Yeah, that's true, bro.
He keeps moves around, like the camera keeps moving around and shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, I couldn't get past the first level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he didn't even, but he also, and one can make the argument like you could have seen walkthroughs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you could have seen playthroughs.
Right. But I don't know.
You could have seen me play it on my stream if you wanted to.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. Follow I have Atilan on YouTube. And Lamario on YouTube.
But I don't know what was the deal with that about telling them not to watch it. But I was like, whatever, it is what it is. And yeah, man, we got that first trailer, and I was like, oh shit, this is looking like The Last of Us. And I was like, damn, but
they look pretty cool.
They bitches, they're gonna make us wait till January.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys prefer that? Like, I mean, well, not that when the release date, but like, do you guys prefer the weekly shit, or did you wish that they just dropped it all in one thing, like Netflix?
I knew it was gonna be a weekly thing because streaming services are doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Disney Plus is doing that with all their Marvel shows, all the Star Wars shows.
Yeah.
A lot of streaming services are doing that thing, and they do it as a ploy.
Yeah.
It's a ploy in the sense of like, well, you really want to watch this show week to week, and we can only fit like a third of that show in 1 month. So if you want to come back in future months to watch the rest of the show, you're going to have to pay for 3 months worth of Disney Plus and not one.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Because Disney Plus was doing that because people would get a free trial, binge watch the Marvel shit or whatever it was, and then they'll cancel their subscription.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of streaming services are doing that now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I knew it was going to be a weekly thing. Did I think it was going to make us wait till 8 at night?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I was like,
they pushing it.
I was like,
doing some Walking Dead
tripping.
shit, bro. That's some Walking Dead.
I was like,
shit.
what the fuck? I remember I was expecting to wake up Sunday morning and like, oh shit, The Last of Us, and I got ready and I got my popcorn, and then I turned on the OLED TV and shit, and I was like, it's about to get lit.
Heated butt warmers.
I had heated butt warmers. I had my 40X chair.
You got a Snuggie.
I got a Snuggie on. Drops 8 p.m.
Nah, it's tough.
Yeah.
And honestly, it would have been. And I wish they didn't do that. Like, I guess I'm being like biased because I guess the original plan was like we would watch it and stuff when it would drop or whatever. Then we'll review the podcast, like, and then get it up there the same day and stuff. But unfortunately, we just can't do that. So yeah, I guess that was the only downside. And yeah, I mean, it is what it is, bro.
Right.
Like, what can we do about that?
Yeah. But hey, we're finally here though. It's finally out. At least the first episode.
Yeah.
Hour and a half. And so before we go into super deep dive, quick thoughts as to what you thought the episode was as a whole. I'll go with Mario first.
I mean, this. I remember before the show came out, they said that what's it called, that they were gonna add stuff that wasn't in the game, and I remember being like, okay,
that worried you?
That worried me,
really,
because I thought they were gonna take away shit that we saw in the game and replace it,
like change shit from the games.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But as soon as the episode started, I'm just like, okay, this wasn't in the game, but it makes sense why it's here, and I understand why they're doing it.
Right. For me, Mario, I looked into it further. Like, I did a little bit more research. So when I saw like, oh, we'll be adding things in the game, I did research. I'm like, what does that mean? And that's when I found out that they said we're going to add things in the show that we didn't have time to add in the video game. So that's why in the video episode they fleshed out Joel and Sarah's relationship in their lives a little bit more. They showed us more about what was going on in that Fedra community. They showed the backstory of how Marlene met Ellie, and like they showed a lot of things that the game didn't have time to flesh out more. Like, I read that, I knew that was the case, whereas Mario was like, what does that mean? And he didn't find out till he saw the episode.
Yeah.
But for me, I did more research, bro. And when I found out that was the case, I was like, oh, okay, so they're just gonna like add things to flesh the story out. From what I understand, they're not changing anything.
For me, bro, it's because I saw they released like a trailer or some shit where like they answered, where they were questioning that people involved in the show, and Neil Druckmann was the one talking. He's like, oh, he said, if we're gonna change the story, I wanted to make sure it had to be very, very good to change what I had from the original game. And I was like, when I heard that, I mean, that just sounds scary to me.
Sure.
But he never said anything about like, oh, we're not taking away anything. Like we're just adding. We're not
right.
You know
Right.
what I mean? But
yeah. But one thing that was impressive from the game, man, is like you still felt that connection with Sarah and Joel, even though we didn't get to see
her
Sarah.
Go to school.
Yeah,
it was like 15 minutes,
much.
bro.
Yeah.
Of total.
You know what I mean? So I thought that was impressive that you still felt that gut wrenching like
It's
feeling.
because I told you earlier. It's because we get to play as them. Well, not as Sarah, but as Joel. We literally move him. We see everything. And in the show, I understand why they did it. Is because like in the show, you're just watching, so you have to show the viewer why we should really care about her.
Yeah.
And stuff. So I understand that, but overall,
that was cool.
Because what was the original question you asking me?
Overall, what do you think of the show?
Okay, so overall of this episode, I thought it was good. I thought it was a great start. I think they kept that original while adding a few things that made a lot of sense to me, because we're watching a show, we're not playing a game.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same thing.
What did you think? Same thing?
That's what I think, yeah.
I thought it was a great first episode, dude. I think this episode hooked me. I think this episode gave me the hope.
Right.
Of like, you know what? I think the rest of the episodes are going to be like this, dude.
Hopefully. Because you never know.
Yeah, that's right.
Things might change. Things, you know what I mean? We honestly don't know. The episodes are not out.
Right.
But is it a good start? Definitely, man. Yeah, man. It was definitely a good start. And I like the changes that they did with the infected. Like adding those tendrils in their mouth.
In their mouths and shit.
That's some like creepy shit. That's some like Flood Halo shit.
Yeah, for real.
Remember, the Flood, like the tentacles and shit that's out of their mouth.
Yeah,
that's something. That's something like that. I thought that was cool.
What did you guys think of? Did you guys think that the show did a good job of adapting Sarah's death?
Yeah,
it did a good job.
It was accurate.
Yeah,
it was accurate.
Yeah,
it was pretty much. Yeah, it was pretty much accurate.
Yeah.
I think the only difference was that instead of multiple zombies chasing Joel through that bar thing. It was just one. You know what I mean? That's the only difference.
Those fuckers are scary, man.
Yeah, man. That's scary.
Those motherfuckers they were like running so fast, they were tripping over shit and they didn't give a fuck and they just kept going.
Shit. Bro, remember when they're going through the town like trying to get away or trying to like just get to a safe spot, bro? One part that it was not for sure in the original game is the plane coming down.
Dude,
I was like, what
that
the
fucking plane was wild.
That was cool as fuck.
That was the thing that made me go, "Oh, this show's dark, bro." Because you knew that plane had hella passengers inside.
Yeah,
and all them.
You thought it was a jet at first.
That's
Remember?
true.
You thought it was a jet, but no, it was an actual a passenger.
When
plane,
when I rewatched the episode, I was like, I saw it better, but like at first glance, I thought it was like one of those like military.
Yeah,
jets.
the fighter jets.
Right. And I was just like, what the fuck? But when I rewatched it, I was like, oh no, that's like
it's a passenger jet.
Yeah.
Oh, like what the fuck?
For real.
That was crazy when that happened, bro.
I was like, damn.
I mean, you and me were there. We looked at you. We're like,
we were like, there's no way, bro.
Yeah,
but I also really liked how the story followed Sarah to her, followed her to school,
that was
to
cool.
that like Apple Watch repair shop, like when she went to go fix the watch. And I liked that not only did it follow her, but that like you noticed things in the background, like that you knew what was going on. Like she'd be walking to school and shit, and then you just see those jets go above her. Mm-hmm. Or like she'll be in like the watch store, that repair store. Behind her you see cop cars and SWAT cars and shit. You're like, what the fuck?
Right.
And then at one point she goes outside and you see that cargo bob fly and it's like, what the fuck?
Like if I saw that in real life, bro, I'd be like, yeah, like
what the fuck's going on?
Gotta gather all the toilet paper. For real. Gotta gather all the toilet paper, man.
I was like, I like that it showed things like that, because especially for people who've never played the game and are watching the show as their first experience, they're probably thinking to themselves, "What is?"
I wonder how that feels, man.
Yeah,
right.
To be in that place.
Yeah, right. Like you know nothing about this shit.
I knew a few people at my work who have never played The Last of Us, who are watching the movie or the show for the first time. I asked one of my friends who because I had found out like they never played The Last of Us. I was like, "Wait, you've never played it, dude? That's surprising because you're a gamer." And he's like, "No, man, I never played it." I go, "Damn, so your reaction to Sarah's death was like authentic. It was like raw. It was the first time." I go, "What did you think of it?" And he's like, "Well, dude, I'm a dad, bro. I got a son. Like, it hit me like a certain way, man." And I was like, "Bro, I was 13 when I saw that shit. That shit fucking hurt."
I thought that was me.
I thought it was
my dad, and not it was Sarah. You know what I mean?
For real.
That's why it hit me.
Hell no.
Actually, when I played it, bro, I don't think I ever, because that makes sense, right? If you're like a father
sure, yeah,
or you're a mother, right? It makes sense. But like what Javi said, we played it when we were kids, bro, and like I still felt sad. I was like, oh shit.
I teared up. Fabian said he did too.
Okay, maybe I didn't do that. I didn't tear up, but I felt sad. I was like, oh shit.
I was like, nah, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah, you know what I mean? I was like, whoa. Like, and I was a kid, and yeah, I didn't put myself in those shoes. Like, oh my god, that's my dad or my family, or you know what I mean? Or that's my daughter, right?
Right.
Yeah,
but I was still sad. I'm like, holy shit, bro, that's fucked. And like I said, it was very impressive that we still were able to feel that in such a short amount of time that we got to know Sarah and the bond between them. You know what I mean? It still hit.
Yeah, it still did.
And then, but another thing that I wanted to talk about just real quick. You guys probably seen it. Did you guys see the whole theory of that's going on of like how the infection started and shit?
Something about flour, right?
Yeah. What do you guys think about that?
That shit is crazy.
That shit is cool. Not gonna lie.
That was crazy. That was some attention to detail. Do you know about that, Mario?
What?
So apparently, no, but this is actually a fact though.
Yeah.
There's a fact that in the game it says that the infection started through crops.
Mm-hmm.
That is the thing in the game, which I did not know that. I found that out through TikTok. That's crazy.
Uh-huh.
But I guess in the video game, Mario, it said that fungus infection that like eventually, takes over and stuff, started off in like crops.
Oh.
Like when they were growing crops and shit like that, right? And if you remember in the TV show, they were having breakfast and the radio was on. And it was talking about some place in the world. It was in the Middle East or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I forget what was the name of the country or something like that, or what was the name of the, you know what I mean? But apparently in the real world, that place is like the number one place in the world that like makes, that like, I think grows that certain kind of crops and makes flour. Mm-hmm. Like flour that you would use for cooking and shit. Yeah. So it says
like bread. Like
bread and stuff like that. So, what ended up happening was that the theory that Hector's talking about is that the infection, because it started off in crops that was eventually turned into flour, people got infected through ingesting flour. Mm-hmm. And
so like with bread.
Yeah. Like bread and shit like that.
Or
and so
cookies.
When you're watching the show and they're like, no pancakes, they avoided eating bread, the flour and the right. Yeah. And then later when she goes and visits the neighbor and she's like, I'm making cookies. Like, oh, chocolate chip. I said, no, raisin. And she doesn't eat them. She's like, what the fuck, raisin? Yeah. She avoided eating flour there. Then at the end of the night, when Joel comes home, she's like, where's the birthday cake? And he's like, oh, fuck, right? They avoided eating flour. So there was all these near misses that they could have been infected, and they avoided it. Just
and I think there was a screenshot too in the show of like of a newspaper saying something about the flour, like something along the lines of something like that. You could probably look it up, Mario. But
so what'd you think of that? I did not know this until when it was brought to me. I was like, "Holy shit!" Like,
that's pretty cool.
Knowing that, like, what's your reaction to that?
That's pretty cool.
I mean, if that's the theory that's going on right now,
I could look it up.
And you're right, because those three things did happen. I mean, it's all adding up. I mean, it's not confirmed. I'm guessing it's not confirmed, right?
No, it is. It's confirmed that in the video game.
No, I'm talking about this theory of like. You're going on.
Well, if the show is adapting from the video game, then I'm assuming it's true. That's the thing. Because they said in the video game that the fungus started from crops. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? A crop that gets turned into flour or something like that. That's in the video game. And if the show's adapting from the game, then I'm assuming the fungus infection on the show will be the same as how it was as how it was created in the video game.
Okay, then I'm based it off that. Then that's really fucking cool. The fact that they had all these near misses and the fact that it all felt like it didn't feel like they were forcing them as near misses, but it felt natural.
The shit's from the video game. That's what I'm looking at.
Oh,
it's from the video game. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
FDA expands list of contaminated crops. Okay. Massive recalls anticipated.
Yeah, you see.
All right.
But that's from the game, right?
All right.
But dude, I never noticed that. Me and Hector were just kind of like, oh, whatever. They didn't have pancakes.
Yeah, me too. Whatever. I was exactly.
Oh, like you forgot the cake.
Okay, raisin cookies, whatever.
Raisin cookies.
Oh, he forgot the
fucking
cake.
Hell,
either
way.
Like stupid dad, who's forgetting shit.
but
like me and Hector never once were like, bro, the crops, the infect. Like, that was some shit we never knew until we like looked into it later.
If that's cool. If that's true, man, that's just attention to detail right there, bro. That's raw.
That's crazy. Now I see that those little things now I see like differently. Like, holy shit, they almost got infected. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
For real, that's fucking raw, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. But what were your favorite I guess we should talk about like our favorite moments. What do you think?
What
do you think? What do you think, Amara? What was your favorite moment, man? Like where you said, "Holy shit, they did an amazing job!" Like, you know what I mean? Like your all-time favorite moment from this episode, which is tough because there's a lot of good moments.
I think I don't know. I think I might be weird for this one. But remember when Joel and Ellie they first meet in the game and they have to go to their outpost in the game, but here it's just Joel's apartment. That whole scene, because in that part it's really your first one-on-one with each other, and so that part in the game always felt kind of special to me, and so in this show it was the exact same way. And so when she said your watch is broken, I'm like, God.
Yeah.
It just brought a lot of emotion. Because I'm just like, because we know what happens, bro. In fact, this is their first one-on-one with each other. I just think of everything, and I'm just like,
I'm hyped to see, man, what they do, bro.
Yeah.
I want to see. I'm just so curious, man.
But yeah, man, I think that whole scene,
okay, so you think that was your favorite moment?
Yeah, and not only that, you really get to see what this actor, Bella Ramsey, that's her name?
Yes.
Well, how she is as more, well, not more, because she's already portrayed, like, she's already been in enough scenes before this moment, but you really get to see her more of, like, Ellie's just attitude and all that shit. And I'm watching, I'm like, that's Ellie, bro.
She did good,
that's fucking Ellie, dude. That's Ellie. I'm sorry. That's who it is. She killed it, and it just brings out emotions out of me because that's those two really first one-on-one with each other, and how she's able to figure out the code with the radio. She's like, oh, so what does this song mean? Yeah, I figured you out, Joel. I'm just like, dude, that's fucking Ellie, dog. That's fucking Ellie. What about you, Javi?
My favorite moment?
Yeah,
it's gonna sound really fucked up, but I'm explaining why it's one of my favorite moments. I've always known that the Last of Us video game was dark. And when I always told people that in normal conversations, be like, "Oh yeah, The Last of Us, it's a video game. It's dark." Yeah. People don't seem to understand like how dark this game can be.
Oh wait,
so in my opinion, one of my favorite moments in the show is a moment that kind of justifies why the story is as dark as it is. That when people who have never played the game, don't know anything about the story, watch it for the first time, they could finally understand. This story is dark, like Javi has said, or like other people on the internet have said. And the scene that I feel like solidifies that point, that, oh yeah, this is a very dark story that we're telling, it's a dark show, was the scene where Joel and those other people were throwing dead bodies into the fire.
Yeah.
And those were the bodies of the people that were infected. And they were just throwing them into the fire like nothing. And at one point, we saw that one of the dead bodies was the little kid. Yeah, we saw that was rocking the Osirises. Remember those from middle school?
Yeah, right.
He was rocking those fucking kicks, and he showed up, and we find out he's infected. So they give him a lethal shot, and then we see him with the bag over his head, and he's dead and shit. Yeah. And Tess is like, I just can't do it. And Joel was like, fuck it. And he nonchalantly grabs this dead body of a kid, throws it in the fire like it's nothing, doesn't faze him.
Because at this point, Sarah, we saw Sarah die, so he's like, well, fuck it. Like,
well, not only that, but it's also because it's 20-year time jump.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where, like, Joel must have been through some shit in those 20 years that it didn't faze him like that. And then not only that, but then the next shot you see is them shoveling the ashes of the bodies and throwing them into trash cans. I'm like, bro, holy shit. Like, The Walking Dead didn't show stuff like this. And they pushed the envelope, I felt sometimes. But even then, like, it never went this far. Holy shit. But that was one of my favorite moments because I was like, okay, this show is not going to be like for the lighthearted type of thing. You know what I mean?
I was thinking the same thing, Hav.
Really? That took your favorite moment too?
I think, like that was the part where I was thinking like you, like, oh damn, like this is actually serious. And not only that part and the part with the plane, right, where we see the passenger plane crash. We're like, holy shit!
I wasn't expecting that.
And I guess I don't know. I have a lot of favorite parts. I know I'm cheating, but I really did like that the death scene with Sarah.
Oh yeah.
That one was really cool.
Did you know the way that they did that? That the actress who plays Sarah and Pedro Pascal had agreed not to rehearse that scene. They didn't decide to like rehearse that scene. They said that they were going to perform it for the first time when the camera started rolling, so that the reaction was more authentic and raw.
Interesting.
Yeah. Wow. They were like, we didn't want to rehearse it. We didn't want to be like, oh, let's go over our lines. Oh, okay, I'm dying. And, you know what I mean? She was just like, let's not do this scene. Let's not rehearse this scene or nothing. let's just do it when on the day of the shoot, so that it's more authentic. Let's not read the script. Let's just kind of go based on like we're in the moment. Let's just film it for ourselves, and that's why it came across as so authentic.
So that was one shot. Like they didn't do retakes on that. Like it was just one take.
No, I think it was one take.
Wow, for real?
I think it was one take. Yeah.
Oh damn. Shit! I did not know that.
So what? Now knowing that, what do you think of that scene?
That's even more impressive. You know what I mean? It's just more impressive than. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's more impressive, and I guess that makes sense too. You know, not to keep rehearsing it and stuff, but yeah, I think that was another favorite scene of mine. The way they did that, and then Tommy, man, I like Tommy. I like how they did Tommy.
I like Tommy's cast too.
Yeah, like I'm curious to see what else they do. I'm curious if they ever add things, maybe like a little 20-minute like what Tommy's doing or how he ended up building his what was that place called where he was at?
I forget what the place was called, but I know what you're talking about.
Was it a dam?
No. That dam just provides the electricity for his town. That's why in the game we were at the dam.
It was a power plant.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of want to see. I kind of want to see more with Tommy. Yeah, I feel like we didn't see that much with Tommy in the games. Maybe. You know what I mean? That's just me personally, man. I just kind of want to see what's up with him.
Dude, I've always said for years, and I know you guys remember me saying this. I've always said that I want another Last of Us video game that's a prequel. I want to see what Joel and Tommy went through in those 20 years.
What they were doing? That'd be sick.
That led up to the Joel and Tommy that we see in The Last of Us.
They could do that.
Because there's a scene in the video game where Joel and Tommy are arguing, and he's like, so this is how you're gonna pay me back? After all those years I've kept us alive? And Tommy's like, I've had nothing but fucking nightmares from those nights. And he's like, motherfucker, you survived because of me. And Tommy's like, it was never worth it. And you're just like, what the fuck have these guys been through?
That and the other guy that sets up traps in the town, what's his name? Bill. Even the same thing with him. Mm-hmm. He's like, because he's like, no, I'm not gonna help you, whatever. But he's like, what about all those fucking times I helped you out back then, whatever. And then Bill's
because he's like, I need a car because you owe me a favor. Yeah. And he says something like, whatever favors you think I owe you, it ain't that, it don't mean much. Mm-hmm. And he's like, actually, Bill, they are. Mm-hmm. And he says it with like this tone in his voice. I don't know. And it's just like,
and that's what
did he do?
And then Bill switches. He's like, all right, but like I'm gonna help you.
Like he's like, fuck.
And that's the thing. You want to see that? It's like, what is he? What is he
dude,
went through, man?
I want a Last of Us prequel that shows
all that shit.
This like stuff like that. I want to see.
That'd be cool.
I want to see how Joel met
by the way,
Tess.
Spoilers. Because we might see this in this season.
Well,
we're talking about spoilers. Well, we forgot to mention that at the beginning of the podcast. Because what if new viewers were like, hey, let me check this out. They're talking about the, you know what I mean? It's just fuck, guys. I mean, we didn't give heavy spoilers.
Yeah,
it wasn't heavy spoilers, but if you're still listening,
we're talking about a prequel.
Yeah, but we just brought up Bill because we meet him.
Yeah, we brought out.
I guess.
And the dam and then some town.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we gotta make that like a habit when we start a podcast, man. We keep forgetting.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, man, Last of Us prequel game. I want that shit, bro. That'd be fucking lit.
Do you? And actually, Mario, I'm gonna ask you this, bro, because I know Javi's answer. Do you think in the second season of The Last of Us, do you think they'll go the same route as the game?
As part 2?
Yeah. What do you think about that? Should they?
I mean,
just make it fun. What do you think?
That's tough, bro. Because obviously, I don't. For those who don't know, I am not a fan of the story in part 2. Mm-hmm. So honestly, most adaptations, I'm against when they change shit. Here, I honestly would not mind
if they
change shit here. Because The Last of Us Part 2 for people who played the game is heavily fucking divided. You either love it or you fucking hate it. There is no in between. It's just that's the cold-hearted truth for Part 2, the second game.
A lot of people say it's a masterpiece. Other people say it's
piece of shit. Fuck that. I don't think it's a piece of shit.
You know what's crazy though? You know what's funny? I never really understand. It's like, we get it. The whole revenge story, like bad, right?
Yeah.
Ellie realizes this after murdering hundreds of people. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We're playing as Ellie. She murders so many people, and then finally at the end, you know what? This is bad. You know what I mean? So, all right. I just put. I know it's a game, right? I know it's a video game, whatnot. But I just made that connection. I thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah,
it's like,
I know what you mean. But
I only played the game once, bro. And obviously, you guys know my reactions towards it. And I'm curious to see is like, maybe we're missing something, right? Maybe in the future, I'll play it again. And I'll try to not be as biased. And I want to genuinely pay attention to really see everything. Because I only played it once.
Right.
And then obviously, when I had at the time, right? That's enough, right? That one time's enough for me. One thing for sure, the gameplay and everything else is fucking sick, bro.
Yeah,
sure.
it is.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? So I do want to go back and play. Maybe there's some things that we miss, bro. Maybe we are missing something. Maybe it is an actual good game. What do you think, Ha? What do you think about that, Ha? Did you play it multiple times, or did you just?
No, I just played it once.
Mario, did you play one and done?
I only played it once, bro.
So okay. So but hear me out, right? So what do you guys think about that? What I just said. What if we just need to play it again, and with a different light, and not really be biased and like remember how we thought of in the beginning, and actually really digest it and really be a critic about it.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro.
Like, what do you think?
That's
Justice
tough,
for Joel.
Justice for
I don't know,
Still
man.
doesn't change it.
I was about to say, because bro, throughout the entire time,
Yeah.
whenever I was playing that game, I'm just like, bro, spoilers for the game, for part 2.
So click off right now.
Yeah, for real.
Or mute us for
a little bit, yeah.
forever. I don't know how long.
But when I was just playing the game, bro, and whenever I wasn't playing as Ellie or I see something that involved Joel, like a flashback, I love those flashbacks.
Those were like the best moments.
Those are the best moments in the game for me. And then whenever I'm forced to play as Abby, I'm just like, bro, I just don't want to play as you.
Just don't care.
I understand that one of the things Neil Druckmann was trying to do in this game is like, in this world, everyone is bad. In this world, everyone
is going through shit.
Everyone
has their own revenge story.
In their own way, Abby is very much... I'm going to say this. Abby's justified for wanting to kill Joel.
Yeah.
No, of course.
She's justified. I'm not gonna be biased. Like, no, she's not justified. But
No, she is.
But in the way this game started, it started with Last of Us Part 1, and in Part 1, we were forced to play as Joel, and a little bit as Ellie. So what does that mean? It means that we were forced to have a connection with these characters. Yeah. So in this world, we care about Joel and Ellie. I don't care about Abby. I care about Joel and Ellie and their relationship.
But that's the thing. They're trying to make you care for Abby.
Yeah, they tried. They gave her all the new weapons. The dog. Remember the fucking dog? Oh, the dog loves Abby. Fucking hates Ellie though. The dog hates Ellie. They all everything.
As Ellie, you killed the dogs.
Yeah, bro. And I'm just like, bro, I get it. I still hate it. I care about Joel and Ellie more than Abby.
What do you guys rate the game?
I think I gave it like a...
Oh wow, Javi said a 1.
Oh, I wouldn't.
That's crazy.
I can't, because for me, it's more than a story. Even though the story is a big part, like everything about the game is good to great, but that story.
For me, it's the crux of the whole game is the story.
Really? Even the flawless gameplay, the new mechanics.
I mean, all that is fun.
The level design.
I mean, sure, all that's fun, but like, you gotta
include that.
Well, that's why I gave it a 1.
Oh wow.
Nah, for me that's why.
For me, man, it's just I don't like. It's just too much that goes into it, bro. Mm-hmm. It's just like I don't like what they did with Joel. I don't like how they did him dirty. I don't like that the trailers mismarketed, making it seem that Joel was going to be in the entire game. I didn't like that there was 9 years of anticipation for this game only for it to be a letdown. I didn't like that. That Neil Druckmann would create characters that for us to connect with in the first game, only for like all those years later we get the sequel and then it's like, oh, fuck your feelings, we're gonna start changing these characters. It's just so much that goes into it. It's not just the story's trash. There's layers as to why I didn't like the game and the way that it came out. It's not just because of the story. There's a lot more things going into it, and that my feelings are so strong about it. And it is just, it angers me and frustrates me, and it just makes no damn sense. No matter how I place the puzzle pieces, they don't fit, and it doesn't make sense. And it's just like, it was just dumb writing. It was stupid. Like, you were trying to be bold and profound, and instead you spit in the face of your fans, the people who bigged up your first game and made your game the best game in PlayStation history ever made, blah blah blah, only for you to be like, let's fuck over the characters that these people grew attached with the game before.
Yeah.
To me, that's why I can't get over it. You know what I mean? It's like, what? But like the gameplay, like I get it, the gameplay's cool, but like if I wanted a gameplay, man, like I'll just play the first one. That already comes with a better story. Or I'll play Uncharted, I don't know, something like, I don't know, I would just play some other game. Like the story, if you're gonna have a game that's gonna focus on story will always, for me anyways, be the thing that comes out on top. Because gameplay does play a factor too, but like if you're gonna include a story, the story has to come out great as well. If you're gonna take the time to build it, especially if it's a sequel of a game that was like one of the best games to have come out in this generation.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, it's just so much things that goes into it. That's why I give it a 1. Like I get it. I know what you guys mean, right? The graphics when it came out for PS4 really pushed its boundaries. It was the best looking game that PS4's ever put out. The gameplay was cool. They introduced proning, which helped out in a lot of situations when you're playing against, like when you're doing stealth and shit. You can like crawl under trucks and stuff like that. I get it, but like I will never forget the story and how it made me feel playing it for 16 hours and go, why does this matter? At one point where you reach to the scene with Joel and you're playing the rest of the game, like, why does this matter? And I guess what angered me more was that the trailer made it seem like the story was going to go one way, but then the story actually goes a different way, and it's like, okay, so you just you like lied to me. You what's the word I'm looking for? Like you were
manipulated.
Yeah, like you
manipulated.
Like you made it seem like it was going to be tricked. One thing. Yeah, something like that. Like
misled.
Thank you. That was the word. Misled. You misled us thinking it was gonna go one way and it didn't. And like it's just like 7 years of anticipation, waiting for a sequel. Yeah. The trailers were coming out. That first trailer that dropped on E3, everyone in the audience roared when they saw the Firefly logo.
Yeah.
Because they knew this was Last of Us 2, and people were like, "Holy shit!" And then it said Naughty Dog, and people erupted. And I've never seen an audience scream and get hyped as loud on E3 than when they saw God of War 2016 trailer. I never saw an audience go that crazy and that hyped, personally. And then for us to get a game that turned out the way it did, I can't forgive that. And I gave these motherfuckers $60 for it day one, and so I'm extra petty. Yeah. But to me, man, that's just why I can't, bro. Like
I think in the future, I'll replay it. And I'll see what's up. I'm going to really dive into it. And I'm going to see again for myself. Be more open-minded. And I want to see if I could see what these critics and other people say. Where it's a masterpiece. 10 out of 10. Right? So I think I'll check that out. And do you think they'll keep it the same for season 2? Or do you think they'll change it?
So I remember I've actually had this conversation with you guys off podcast. Yeah. So for the viewers, I was telling Hector and Mario that if we do get a season 2 and it does adapt the events of Last of Us Part 2, I told Hector and Mario, I said, this might be Neil Druckmann's opportunity to redeem himself to the fans. Yeah. And I think what they're going to do, my personal opinion, what they should do is they should adapt the events of Last of Us Part 2 to The Last of Us Season 2, but obviously make some grand changes that'll make the story better, that would please to all audiences. Feel me? Yeah. So like giving Joel the justice that he deserved and not doing him dirty would be one thing. Doing a better job of trying to have us connect to Abby would be another. You know, maybe give us a story that is also like a revenge story where Ellie's out for revenge and this and that, but have it be for a different reason than it was in the game. Like, do something where you change the story that it wasn't like the second game, that gamers can look at and be like, oh, this was the Last of Us Part 2 story that I wanted 2019. This is the story that I wanted, and they finally did it, like, right, okay, Season 2 did it well. I like this story better than what they did in the game.
Yeah.
Neil Druckmann gains back the trust of the fans, and you just go from there.
Yeah. You think they'll make a third game?
Neil Druckmann said he was thinking about it.
Yeah, continuing the game.
Yeah,
didn't he say he already had a script for the third game?
I think something like that, bro. He said he already has worked something out.
Like what?
What
else can we see?
That's my thing, bro. It's like, who cares?
What is it? What Ellie's gonna go back at it again? Ellie's gonna change her mind.
It just doesn't make sense,
right?
bro.
Like, hey, Ellie's gonna change her mind.
Ellie and Abby become friends. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
What if they do that? Bro?
No.
I would hate.
What if they meet up and they work out their differences?
No.
Be like, you know what?
No, because just because they did doesn't mean I did. Just because they did doesn't mean the gamers did.
Yeah.
That just feels forced. That's bad writing.
What would be the plot? Like,
I don't. I'm like Hector. I'm gonna say this, and
when Ellie was going on a revenge spree, she actually killed. Like when she's killing people, she killed someone, and then her daughter is hunting Ellie.
Yeah, right.
Hell no, bro. Fuck
Some
that,
bullshit
dude.
like that.
Some fucking cycle.
That would be so ass.
Okay, but you just asked me what do I think, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm about to say something I never think I'd say.
Okay.
That's supposed part 3. I don't
Yeah.
give a fuck.
Wow. That's
Do you want to
crazy.
play
I
it?
just don't care.
Would you play it? Would you play it?
I think I'd watch walkthroughs.
I would play it.
Now, if they said, "Hey, we're working on another Last of Us game," it's a Last of Us prequel.
You'd be like, I'm on that.
Exactly, because I've been wanting that.
Yeah.
Fuck part 3. I don't care what happens next because y'all didn't do the story for too well.
Right.
It's like going into Rise of Skywalker and it's like, but Last Jedi was mid.
I think they're gonna do a part 3, man. I think they're gonna do a trilogy.
Of course
keep
they
it
are.
clean.
Of course.
Trilogy.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, because the second one received awards and accolades, despite what fans may have said about the game. People who hate on it, like me,
Right.
despite what we say about it, it still made awards. It still made money. It still won accolades. Of course, they're gonna make a third one. It's easy money. The title, the name of the game is the title. Title sells on its own.
Yeah.
You just slap a 3 on there, another line, Roman numeral 3, and you got yourself a game that's gonna sell millions and win more accolades. It's in the name.
You're right, man.
That's why I'm like, why do they need my money? I'll just watch a walkthrough. And if it's cool, all right, bet they did it justice. But I didn't give them. But I didn't attribute it to though. I didn't give him $70.
They won't give me a year again, but nah, my money.
They got me. They got my ass once. If I do
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice.
Can't put the blame on you.
You true. What's that saying? How
Fool
does it
me
go?
3 times.
Fool
Fuck
me
the
once.
peace sign.
Shame on
Shame on
Load
you.
the
Fool me-
chopper. Let it rain
shame
on you.
me.
Shame on me, right? Okay.
Because you fell for it twice, and it's like, well, at
shame
that
on
point,
me.
bro,
Fool
you
me
should learn.
thrice. Fool me thrice.
3 times.
You're
out. I don't know. It should turn into baseball.
You're struck out.
Struck out.
Take me out to the fun.
Oh my god.
Can you get some Cracker Jacks with that? But anyways, all right. Okay. Fuck. We went on a tangent on the games instead of the actual the episode.
For real.
But I mean, I feel like we pretty much talked about it, man. It's a great adaptation. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to say about it?
One thing I wanted to point out is that
go
how Joel would sell drugs to that one one guy.
that one guy.
Yeah.
That was not in the original game.
No, of course,
This was new, but it was cool to see more of this Joel. Where like, oh yeah, I forgot this motherfucker. Joel's not a good person. I keep forgetting that because I care about him so much. I'm like, wait, I forgot. Joel's a terrible human being too. But
if we really want to be like 100, Joe is not a great person.
No, he's not.
You know what I mean?
He's not.
He's selfish. You know what I mean? So like, if we really want to talk about it,
That's
but like,
true.
No, he is.
but we grew to like him, man.
No,
It's
yeah,
like, hey
yeah.
man,
Because he showed growth
yeah.
in that story.
Mm-hmm,
Also, another thing that I really liked about the show
Oh,
was
yeah,
the
go
scene
ahead.
at the very end, the way it ended.
I like
it
that last
ended-
shot.
Not the last shot, but rather like the last thing that happens. Where it's just like in the game, right? They get caught outside the walls.
Oh,
And they're scanning the necks, right? And they
yeah,
find out Ellie's infected.
Right.
One of the scenes that I liked is when the guy points the gun at Joel and he starts having PTSD to when
That
he
was
lost
cool.
Sarah.
Oh,
Because remember, me and Hector were watching the episode together, and when we saw that he was staring into the flashlight, and then the music was going like it was like eerie and shit. I was like, oh shit, Hector, he's having PTSD. And sure enough, the show then shows a flashback of when he was with Sarah. And I was like, yep, I knew it. And then this motherfucker just lashes out, tackles him, and starts beating him, and he beats him to death with just his fist, bro.
That was crazy.
His fist all covered in blood and shit. And I was just like, that's crazy. Like, I really like that they did that because they didn't do that in the last game.
that's true.
I don't think the game The Last of Us game really ever showed us any kind of PTSD shit
No.
that connects to arguably one of the life to an event that happened in Joel's life that's arguably like the worst thing that's ever happened
in the game. I think Joel shoots him, like he tackles him to the ground, and he's on the ground, and he grabs the gun, and
the gun's in the dude's hand.
And he shoots him like that. Yeah, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
that was it.
But in this one, he was like he got PTSD.
Yeah, that was cool.
And he had that same feeling of a flashlight being pointed at him and with a gun, and
yeah, that's cool.
That he just tackles him out of anger, just beats the shit out of him, and it's like, damn.
And then Ellie in the background, like
just watching it.
Oh shit! Like this dude
holy
stood up
shit,
for me,
bro. This dude tripping. He's crazier than me. You know what I mean? Type shit.
For real.
But one thing that I think that's people don't really talk about, and I feel like deserves more credit, is the intro to the show.
Oh yeah, that's really cool.
Oh, like the opening credits.
I love the intro.
No. Have the
talk show shit.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's. Is that not what you're talking about? I was talking about the. Oh, you're talking about the intro, like the like how the game is, or like the roots and the.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's cool too, Mario. Yeah. That's cool. But I meant like the talk show.
Yeah.
Where it really that shit
cool,
really sets the foundation of like what's gonna.
What's
gonna happen next?
Yeah. I loved how that dude explained how fungus works and shit when it affects ants and shit,
and how it's possible to like, how it's possible that it can even control us.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, that was pretty cool, and how everyone's like laughing and shit, but also like nervously laughing, like, yeah, he's funny, right, guys? Like all scared, like they're all scared, like you know that feeling, like laughing up, but you're actually kind of freaked. You're like, oh shit,
yeah. For real.
I think that shit was
perfect, man. I definitely set like a tone.
Yes, dude.
Definitely, but it's also smart.
Yeah,
because he explains it in a way where I feel like anyone could have understood, even a kid.
Yeah.
Like if a little kid saw that, he'd be like, "Oh, I know how fungi works now."
Yeah.
Anyone would know. Like,
wait, how we just said that?
Fungi.
I know how fungi works.
Fungi. Okay.
Even my illegal Mexican cousin. Oh, ya sé cómo funciona la fungi. But I don't know.
Yeah.
But I liked how.
Hey, put it to the test. Show it to your brother, to your little brother, and ask him, "Do you understand that?" He'll be like, "Hell yeah."
Yeah,
fuck fungi.
For real.
I fuck with Fall Guys.
That's funny.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but I know what you mean. Like they explained it very well, man.
So that way when like people watch the show and they understand how fungus works, they now know how the infection works when they watch the rest of the show and they see the zombies and the clickers and
you gotta respect Neil Druckmann and their team for like researching and actually talking with real scientists to try to get the closest like accurate description of how this can work. That's pretty cool. I actually did. You gotta give him credit on that.
It just makes the show feel more real.
Yes, bro. And I'm tomorrow, man. The next episode.
Yeah.
For real.
I don't even know I didn't notice in the first time I saw it, but the last shot. There's actually I don't know if it's a clicker.
It's a clicker.
It's a clicker. There's a clicker in one of the buildings on the rooftop. Yeah.
Oh,
and
shit.
It's just there doing, clicker activities.
Clicker shit.
Yeah.
Clicker shit.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what
type of shit I'm on.
Hey, that's the type of shit. Hey, that's our new podcast, our new Last of Us podcast. Clicker shit.
Clicker shit.
But yeah, that shit's funny.
Hey, but we can't swear in the first minute. Welcome to Clicker Activity.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, we could have game activities. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one, Hob.
Hell nah.
But yeah, that's actually funny as hell. I thought. Okay. Well, I didn't know that they had that.
Yeah, in the last shot, it when it was showing that like overhead shot of like the buildings leaning on shit. We didn't see it the first time, bro. But off to the side, there's a clicker on the roof, and it screams. That's why you hear the clicker screech at the end of the show.
Oh, okay.
Right before credits rolled.
Yep. And since we all played the game, we know what's happening next.
That shit's crazy.
Next episode, next one that comes out tomorrow, gonna go crazy.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to see what it is. And for those listening, we are gonna hopefully cover every episode. How many episodes? 9 episodes.
9.
And it'll reach out
till March.
And
mid-March.
and hopefully this show is solid. Hopefully it doesn't go like south. You know what I mean? Hopefully
Hope it doesn't go on a decline.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, is there anything else that do you want to mention?
I think I mentioned everything, bro. I guess the only other thing I could say is first impressions wise.
Yeah.
And I've seen this episode maybe like twice now just to get like final thoughts in and stuff like that. I guess I could say first episode wise, I'd give it like a 9 out of 10.
I agree. That was mine. That's my rating.
That's all. That's really all. The only last thing I could possibly say.
Yeah, I think that's my rating as well. 9.
What would you say, Mario? First impressions wise, like what would you think the first episode did?
First episode, I
7.
think it was a very good first episode. The adaptation was awesome. The things they added that weren't in the game, that were in this show, I think were good additions. Mm-hmm. You know, I really liked them. With that being said, I'm gonna have to give this probably I would give this probably a 1 out of 10. No, I'm kidding. No, this is I think
10 out of 10.
Yo.
No, I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10. No.
Ooh, 8 out of 8. I mean, I said 8 out of 8.
Yeah,
same thing.
8.
I would.
Ooh.
I would probably give it. I would probably give it a 9 also. I was debating an 8. But I'm just like, nah. This is a 9 out of 10 episode.
Yeah, bro. It was.
I
really
loved everything
great.
I saw. There's not really one thing where I was like, I hated it.
I think like based off the trailers, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, if this first episode does a good job, it's an 8 automatically. But I think because I didn't realize how much it would exceed my expectations is what raised it to be a 9.
Yeah.
That's how I saw it. That's why I give it a 9. Mm-hmm. My personal opinion. That's how I looked at it.
Yeah, they added more to it, and they did it. I wouldn't say better, but they did it like just as good as the game. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think that's why. I think it's a 9. But the game is 10 out of 10 though.
Game
That's
is 10 out of 10,
facts.
bro.
That's
Game is 10 out of 10.
Game is 10 out of 10.
I feel like that's everyone's like.
I don't know
game,
someone that
you know what I
fucking
mean?
hates The Last of
Yeah,
Us.
dude.
Part
I
1,
think
that
everyone
is.
loves it.
Last of Us Part 1 is like a game that everyone fucking loves.
Yep, that's true.
That's facts.
But okay. I mean, Mario, you have anything else? Do you want to add on? Just
no, I hope this fucking continues, man. I love the first episode. I hope I love the next 8. Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
But yeah, with that being said, guys, I think we're gonna end it right here. Thank you guys so much for listening, and remember, don't let your past haunt you, guys. Take care.
Peace.
See you.